I need to share something with you that changed my entire philosophy on retirement planning. You know how everyone is trying to live big now and have this ultra-lavish retirement fantasy? I've actually had clients for years who did the exact opposite. They employed strategic frugality to build insane wealth. I'll share their secrets with you. I remember sitting with John, a former client who owned a 15-year-old Toyota but had over $3 million in his retirement accounts. People at his office would jokingly tease him about his cheap life, not realizing he could buy their luxury cars with just the gain on his investments. "I'm not broke," he told me with a knowing smile, "I'm just choosing where my money grows." The concept of living beneath your means is nothing new, but here's what most get wrong: it is not self-denial. It is making strategic choices. Take Maria, for example, another client who was able to retire at the ripe old age of 52. During her working career, she lived in a modest 2-bedroom house while her colleagues bought McMansions. She brown-bagged lunch while they ate at expensive restaurants. Today, she travels 6 months of the year around the globe while some of the same coworkers are still toiling away paying off mortgages. Let me share with you something that blew my mind when I first got into financial planning. The average millionaire drives a used car. That's right. A study I read said that most millionaires buy their cars used and keep them for years. Why? Because they understand something incredibly important: every dollar you don't spend on depreciating assets is a dollar that can grow into something substantial. I have a client, Pete, who is my default example of stealth wealth. He is a school teacher but owns 5 rental properties free and clear. How did he do it? He started small, living in a tiny apartment and saving 70% of his income. His colleagues at work thought he was crazy. "Live a little," they'd say. He now has passive income that exceeds his teacher's salary, but he still clips coupons and shops at discount places. That is not being poor, that is being smart. Here's what fascinates me about this whole concept: the psychology behind it. The people who master this lifestyle aren't suffering. They've just rewired their brains to get pleasure from watching their wealth grow instead of showing it off. They understand that true financial freedom feels better than any fancy car or designer watch ever could. I saw a couple in my office last year, both in their mid-40s, who were frustrated with their retirement prospects. They had good incomes but little saved. When we examined their expenditures, we found they were spending over $15,000 a year on image maintenance alone, high-end clothes, fancy dining, luxury car leases. We made a life-changing pact: live as though you're making half your income for just 1 year. The result? They saved $87,000 in 12 months. Now they're going to retire 5 years earlier than when they first planned. The secret sauce isn't just spending less, it's being selective about where you do spend. I tell my clients to think like a business owner. Any purchase must be framed in terms of return on investment. That designer handbag? It's actually costing you tens of thousands of dollars in retirement funds when you factor in compound interest. But that used car that gets you to work reliably? That's an investment in your income earning potential. Let me share with you a trick I learned from a client who retired at age 45. She called it the future self-tax. She would, prior to making any sizable purchase, calculate what that money would be worth in 20 years if invested instead. A $50,000 car is $150,000 in retirement income at a 7% return. Suddenly, that reliable $15,000 used car is a lot more attractive. The beauty of this strategy is that it works at any income level. I've seen it work with teachers making $45,000 a year and with CEOs making 10 times that amount. The principle is the same: live well below your means, invest the difference, and let compound interest perform its miracle. You know what is amusing? The same individuals who make fun of the millionaire next door who drives an old Honda are usually the ones worrying about retirement. And that quiet neighbor is sitting on a portfolio that can purchase their home several times over. It's similar to Warren Buffett still residing in the same house he purchased in 1958. It's not a matter of being stingy, it's a matter of being intentional. And here's a mindset change I've seen in wealthy clients: they don't see thriftiness as deprivation, but as deferred gratification. Every dollar they save isn't just a dollar, it's a soldier battling to bring about their future freedom. That $4 daily coffee skip means over $100,000 in 30 years if invested. It doesn't mean never enjoying coffee, it means being cognizant of the true cost of habitual small indulgences. The most successful practitioners of this strategy have one thing in common: they're playing the long game. They understand that wealth is built by making consistent, seemingly small decisions over the long term. It's not glamorous, it's not sexy, but it works with mathematical certainty.